Welcome in, welcome in. All right, let's get just chopping this fable up, trying to figure out what's going on in the world, in the market right now. Let me put that on mute so y'all don't hear my background noise and all the other good stuff. All right, trying to give it a second so other people can join before we chop this up, but I'm just gonna jump right into it. You know how we do it every weekend. Please ask your comments in the comment section. Any questions about anything financial, anything that you want to see that's going on in the news and how it affects you financially. Uh, we can talk politics, but as long as the politics get back to your financial winning. But it will be some comments about the whole politics notion in here, and really about what people have said to me recently in the past like 2 weeks about me talking about politics. So I want to tap into that also. But let's get into it. So let's go. On Tuesday, Jerome Powell, if people don't know, that's the Fed chair of the United States. He had a conference somewhere on the northeast side of the United States, and he said right now we in a conundrum, or we as the Fed are in a conundrum, and the conundrum is the fact that unemployment is rising, inflation is rising, prices are rising. So what he was trying to explain was a stagflation economy. For people that's been following this channel for any amount of time, they know that we've talked about stagflation for a while, especially the people that followed in the Discord and things like that. You know, I've been talking about where you're heading to a stagflation economy. And this is not nothing new in American politics or nothing new in American economy. If you study history, and you know that's a big word that I talk about a lot, study history. If you study history, you'll learn how to win in this game. Stagflation economy, uh, if you look to the late 70s, early 80s, that was a stagflation economy. Hell, you can even go a little past the early 80s, but you can go further than that. And that is what's called a stagflation economy. And what happens is the home prices stay where they're at. Magically, that's what we have now. Uh, Employment or unemployment will rise. And then right now we have, hey Jay, what's up? I see you over there. But right now we have the fact that it's more people on unemployment benefits than there are open jobs in the United States. So that is something that is out there. So again, study the late 70s through the 80s, and then you will understand what's really going on in the landscape of what's going on. That's how you win. How they won in the 80s is how you win now. We've talked about many times on deals that we've pulled off when it comes to seller finance deals, when we talked about assumption deals, when we talked about subject to deals. Deals can still get done now, and you can still get the low interest rate today, just like they was doing. I mean, they had bartering. You know, you sell your house or you exchange houses with somebody else back in the 70s and 80s. So that was out there. So the thing that we need to really focus on is stop getting trapped up into who's president, who's not president. What political points are there and not there. And it was funny. It was somebody I respect. They called me. Well, it's two people actually. Two people the last week that I respect, and they called and asked me questions. And one of them said, "Hey, I noticed you talking about politics a lot more. I know you talk about the Bible a lot more, because I don't talk about religion. I just talk about the Bible itself a lot more. Why are you doing that and not still focused on the money?" And to that answer I give them is because I study history. I study my family history. I study other people's history. The things that was not allowed to talk about, and then people say in the comment section if I'm wrong, things that we was not allowed to talk about growing up, especially as kids, was money, religion, and politics. You wasn't allowed to ask, your mom and dad how much money you make, what do you do, where the bills go, and all that stuff. And then you wasn't allowed to question if you had a question about what you learned in church that went against what they taught in church. And then when it came to politics, you was not allowed to question anything that went along with whatever your family tree uh, always subjugated themselves to. So that's what I talk about. And I don't talk about it to convince somebody that, hey, you need to be a Republican or hey, you need to be a Democrat. What I'm saying is I want people to question the information that's out there. Question all information that's out there. I mean, everybody knows what side I lean towards. But the thing is, I lean towards it based off facts, not emotion. And when I say facts, not emotion, I'm talking about I deal in fact because the key goal, forget the political party, because at the end of the day, they don't care. They don't care. U6, I see you, Marcus, out there. But the key element of that is whoever's in office, they don't affect how I live. They don't affect how my family live. They don't affect what my family do. So I can have a notion about this, but I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm just going to be blind to everything. I have been investing for well over 15 years. So I've dealt with the Obama administration. I've dealt with the Trump administration the first time. I've dealt with the Biden administration. And then I've dealt with the Trump administration. I made money in all those administrations. Forget how I lean. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, Obama's in office. I'm just not going to invest because I don't like him. Oh, Trump's in office. I'm not going to invest because I don't like him. Right now, and I even said it last week, I think that the Democrats are going to win to get this debt ceiling done, and that's another topic we're going to talk about. This debt ceiling done to raise the debt limit by getting some kind of concessions on the ACA bill. I believe it's going to happen. Matter of fact, I believe it's going to happen so much that I have financial positions that it will happen. And then the thing is, it's not all or none. It's not, hey, if they get this bill passed, then I win, or if they don't, I lose. It's if the Democrats actually get in there and then they actually get that ACA extension with the credit extended for years on, I will win faster. But if not, then I will just take me a longer time to win. But in the end of the day, I still win. I'm not oblivious to how the politics work just because I'm on one side or the other. Just like for the last 4 or 5 years, I tried to convince people, hey, the play is the SoFi play. When it was down to $6, $5 a share. When everybody was sitting there voting for Joe Biden because they thought the student loans was going to be forgiven. And then the thing I was trying to convince, especially the people with the student loans, is, hey, this is the play that you need to play for the student loans, because SoFi is one of the biggest student loan holders in the United States, was, okay, if you vote for Biden and he happened to pull it off, SoFi is still going to win. But just by chance, which I didn't believe he was going to do, that was the major reason why I was going to start putting my money in there, was because if he don't do it, you will have enough money to pay off those student loans anyway. So it's a win-win if you played it. But a lot of people get emotional in their feelings and be like, oh no, well, if he's going to eliminate the student loans, then I'm not going to invest in somebody that's collecting money from student loans. Emotions. We talk about it all the time on this channel. Money is emotions, and get your emotions out of money. That's the only way you win. And then so now we look up today, SoFi, we was talking about at $6 a share, $5 a share. Now it's up 500%. So those same people who didn't get their student loans forgiven, if they would have invested in SoFi, they could have paid off their student loans and life would have been better for them. I take the emotions out of the game. How I feel politically don't matter to where my money goes. Why? Because no politician, no matter right, left, center, or left or right, will affect it. I go where the money's going. And I get a lot of people that get upset when they call me and we have political debates. And I say, it don't matter, I still win. I say that all the time. It don't matter, I still win. And then they take it as, oh, you being arrogant. No, because I'm pragmatic enough to say, okay, they're right on this subject, they're wrong on that subject. Many times on this channel, I said Trump was wrong about lowering the interest rates. But I said, I believe in a lot of policies. Forget how he does it. I believe in the policies that he's trying to put across. But I'm pragmatic enough to say that. It's not an all or nothing game for me. But in money, that's what it is. So the reason why I talk about politics, I talk about religion. And the reason why I talk about religion is the fact that, well, not even religion. I don't even talk about religion. I talk about the Bible is because it takes reading to understand. Don't take everybody's interpretation of it. Read it for yourself. And the reason why I say that is because when it comes to investing, if you're not reading for yourself to know that you know that you know, then you're screwed. That's why I talk about it. That is the reasons why I talk about it. It's to challenge everything that we've always been taught from years prior. Because today, our parents and our grandparents never had access to the information that we have today. So I'm not blaming them. I'm just pointing out that there is other avenues that you can go to figure out what you need to do. So for the people that's upset that I talk about politics, that I talk about the Bible, that I talk about money, and that's the name of the channel, it's about money, but all of that goes together. It's to challenge what you've been indoctrinated to. I don't care if it's the right or the left. It's to challenge everything, question everything. But it can't be, hey, just because I'm on this side of the aisle, I totally relegate and I'm against everything on that side of the aisle. I don't care what side it is. Because money don't work like that. You use your emotions and money, you lose. All right, the second topic that somebody reached out to me about, they said, dude, why do you waste your time trying to convince people that don't have nothing that they can get out of their situation? It don't matter how much you talk to them, they ain't gonna change who they are. And the thing is, and I heard this from somebody this morning actually, and this was a great reply, but it's not the reply I used for them. But he said, and the gentleman said today, and I heard it, and he said, a plum tree or a fruit tree does not live off the fruit that they produce. So a plum tree don't eat plums to grow. Only thing they eat is water. The plum tree is grown so the people that's passing by it can indulge on the fruit. So what he was saying in layman's term is, once you have a skill and once you see something that's missing, it's your job to give that to the people. And that's what I do. I found a hole in the matrix. I found different things that can work to our benefit. And when I say our, I mean, I'm talking about the middle class and the poor. The upper middle class, the rich, they already taken care of. But I found the holes in the game that will help people out. And so we ain't got to run to the liquor stores, and we ain't got to run to the Publix and the gas stations and all the other stuff to try to play Powerball and hope that one day we'll be rich. But if you follow the steps and you stay in the game one by one, key by key, then you can be in the game and win no matter what. Trust me, I got family members that got house full of lottery tickets. And they still in the same or worse position they was when they started buying. So that is the reason why I do it. And I understand. And, some people reach out, oh, you forgot where you came from. 6'7", I see you out there. Marcus said 6'7". I got you. My son trying to teach me what that means, but one day I'm going to get that. But, so, I understand that me and many people start somewhere. I believe T.I. said this. Grass and trees started at the same place. Grass and trees started at the same place, but the tree outgrew the grass. Now, if I'm paraphrasing that wrong, somebody hit it in the comment section. And that's what it is. Me and everybody that I knew in my neighborhoods, my family, we all came from the same place. I just found something that was different that made me leave that situation. But nobody can accuse me, no family or friend or anybody that I ever dealt with can accuse me of not trying to share the information. Because like we talked about last week, they always swear as gatekeepers. I mean, you can probably say that in, 1950s, 60s, and 70s. But as many books as it is out here now, that's why I talk about reading the Bible. Get used to reading. But as many videos as it is out today, you have never heard, if you look at financial videos or social media content or whatever, they never broke it down to race, creed, religion. They just say, if you do this, this is how much money you make. I done learned from people that's on the blackest of the black side of the scale to the whitest of the white side of the scale, and none of them ever said it's dependent on race. None of them have said it's dependent on race. I'd say that twice on purpose so y'all can understand it. This is not a victim channel. This is not a, hey, we just gonna act like roots was the only thing to our lineage that we can't do nothing unless somebody give us something. I believe, just like many people believe, if you do it and you execute and you stay disciplined in it, you can win. Contrary to popular belief, it's poor white people, it's poor Mexican people, it's poor Chinese people, it's poor everything. I mean, look around your neighborhoods, you see them. It's poor everybody sitting around here. So this is not relegated to just a creed or race or religion. Money itself is something that it don't care where it's at. Only thing money cares about is, it's like having babies. That's what I say about money. Money is like having babies. You want to send your kids out, or having, like your kids, especially when you get older, you want your kids to go out and have more kids so you can have grandkids to spoil or whatever. Hey, New, how's it going? And that's all money is. Money attracts to the good stewards of money. So if you get your paycheck on Thursday, Friday, and then you go blow it at the club, the only time you're going to see money again is when your next payday comes. But if you're a good steward of money, and then you get your money from your paycheck on Thursday and Friday, and you deploy it into a dividend stock, or you deploy it in something that will bring you cash flow, you're going to get money way faster than waiting for another paycheck. And then if you keep compounding, doing it over and over and over again, the money comes faster. And then eventually, the money that you have coming in outside of your job will supersede the money that you have coming in your job. Race ain't got nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with it. Discipline has something to do with that. Putting your money where it needs to go has something to do with that. But race has nothing to do with that. But the key is, y'all got to put skin in the game. The thing is we think that, it's some Da Vinci code out there that, if I put $3 somewhere, that it's going to bring me back $1 million, i.e. the lottery. But the truth is if you put the money that you work for towards assets, then eventually it'll get there. Guys, I'm not sitting where I'm at because I got some Da Vinci code or I hit the lottery. I'm sitting where I'm at because when I was working at the plant in Texas, Toyota plant, for all those people that are still working out there, about 15, 20 years ago, I salute you. But what I did was I took that money and I lived way below my means. Everybody say you work at the plant, you can go live good, be good. No, I'm in the sticks. I'm back there, $600 a month apartment. I'm putting all my money towards investments. And then I got better jobs. Instead of getting the better jobs and going to pick up the latest Jordans, going to buy the better house, going to buy the better cars, I put my money towards investing. That will produce me cash flow. Now fast forward 15, 16, 17 years later, all that money pays for my life. So if you ever see me out there, out and about somewhere in Florida or somewhere else around the world, my investment paid for it, not a job. Now I can do whatever I want to do. And this is the same message, me being a plum tree, growing and trying to give the fruit to everybody. This is the same thing that I say to everybody. You can do it. But the thing is, I said it when I first started. I said it when I was 3 years in, 5 years in, 6 years in, 12 years in, 15 years in. And people ain't even planting the seed, for the most part. Now, it's some out there, it's twos and fews out there, and for y'all, I salute you. But that's all you have to do. If you 50 years old, it's not too late. If you 60 years old, it's not too late. You just gotta do it. Just put the money in the game. Trust me, all your broke ass friends that's still out there partying and clubbing and everything else, they still gonna be broke. So you can go do that for 5, 10, 12 years. They still gonna be in the same place they at, and they still gonna be your friends if that's the kind of friends you want when you realize the sacrifice you put into it. They're still gonna be there. What else out there? The debt ceiling. Debt ceiling is September 30th. September 30th is the debt ceiling. That's the deadline. Of course, the Republicans need some Democrats to come across the aisle to get the 60 votes to raise the debt ceiling. The Democrats are being hardline, just like the Republicans are being hardline on the fact that they want to extend the Obamacare credit out there. Will it happen? We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to change my way. I mean, personally, do I believe the credit should be extended? No. But money-wise, I think that they will be extended, so I'll make some money off of it. See how that works? I can have a personal belief, but then I got a money belief. See what I'm saying? One thing that came out on CNBC is younger people, they believe that there is no financial security for them in the future, so they going out there, they investing in the meme stocks, they investing in the meme coins and all that. I believe it's a fool's errand. I believe if they stick to the same script, I am 100%, 5% of your net worth could go into cryptocurrency. But when I say cryptocurrency, I'm not talking about the Dogecoin or the 2,000 other damn coins that's out there that just fart coins. That's what I'm gonna call it. They call it something else, but I'm gonna call them fart coins. Doing that. But if I'm doing it, and this is what my family do, it would either be Bitcoin, Ethereum, or XRP. That's it. 5% of your net worth max. And if people want to know why I say 5% of your net worth, if I'm 100% wrong, or if this whole crypto thing is 100% wrong, you still have 95% of your net worth. But if it is correct that 5% invested will supersede the whole 95% of your net worth in the future. If it's correct. So that's why I say 5% of your net worth max should go into the cryptocurrency, but everything else should go to the standard things that's worked tried and true for the past 100 years. S&P 500, NASDAQ, look it up. You can look at the history of it and you can go on from there. What else we got out here? And then please, again, ask your questions in the comment section. I will get to those in a second. Another thing that came out this week was the 25,000 limit, 25K limit on your brokerage account so you can be a day trader. They're working to get that eliminated. And this is the Trump administration that's trying to get that eliminated. Hold on, let me get a drink so I can say this correctly. Now, again, the Trump administration is trying to pass the, you can have less than $25,000 in your brokerage account to be a day trader. Y'all know what side I lean on. I 100% disagree with this right here. And the reason why is the spirit of the rule is day trading is a very hard thing to accomplish. Matter of fact, let me put it this way. 95% of day traders blow up their account. Blow up their account meaning their account goes to zero. 95% with the rule already in place. I prefer that it gives less access to the novice people to go out there and day trade, because if people didn't build up their accounts or they have $25,000 and 95% of them losing, what the hell you think will happen to people that got less than that? Yeah, the meme coins and the meme stocks, all that stuff looks good, it sounds good, but in true reality, it can be a detriment on your life if you don't know what you're doing. So I would rather the day traders have more money to do it. So in that time you building up that money, you bring more habits, more observations, and there's other things that you can do. I don't want anybody day trading. I'm just going to be honest. Because it takes a lot of understanding to do it. I mean, even when it comes to options, I'd rather you do, longer term, 2 months out, 3 months out. And of course, I do the short term. But again, I'm 15, 20 years in the game. But for the novice person out there that's sitting there trying to do weekly options, shame on you. You don't know what the hell going on. I prefer you to go do 3 months out, 6 months out. Hell, do leaps. You'll be better off. So I 100% disagree with this notion that they should do it, and I don't even have my pencil to even cross this line out. I 100% agree to disagree with this thing because I think only thing it is going to bring more gamblers to the scene, and then the more gamblers to the scene is going to cause more destruction in households. Because that's really what it is in the short of it. Just think. I mean, people that, especially y'all guys that's out there running casinos and understand how that game works. If 95% of day traders lose their money and they needed $25,000 in their account to be day traders, do it seem like that's a successful business, or does it seem like that's something that they need to go back to the drawing board on? Now, the 5% is good. I'm not going to deny it. And I know some of the people that's in that 5%. But for the most part, it takes a lot of due diligence, reading, studying, understanding setups, charts, and different nuances like that. Not just going here on a storyboard or a blog board or something like that, stock investor, something like that, and somebody saying, hey, everybody need to get into this penny stock and we're going to ride it. It takes a lot more than that. But that's why 95% of day traders lose their money, because they don't want to do the work. So I don't want to make it easier for day trading. I want to make it harder. And I'm not trying to, as people say, gatekeep from day trading. I'm just saying it's way harder than people give you the illusion that it is. Trust me, I've tried it many a times, and then I'm way better at it now, but I blew up my account on many a nights trying to be a day trader. Ain't no secrets here. I blew up my account many a times. Blew up my account meaning I had a certain amount of money and it went to zero. That's what blowing up my account is. I've done that on many occasions trying to be a day trader. Not once, not twice, many, 7, 8, 9 times before I figured it out. So do I want more people to have to go through that crucible? No, not at all. Starbucks is laying off hundreds of workers. They're trying to reestablish itself to save $1 billion. So if you start seeing Starbucks shut down, that's what it is. They're losing a lot. Maybe because political affiliation, maybe because people tired of paying $10, $12 for crap coffee, whatever it is. But just understand, you're going to start seeing Starbucks close down. They have $1 billion strategy to change that program around. CarMax for you car buyers out there. CarMax, they stock tanked 20% on Thursday. It tanked 20% on Thursday because car buying has dropped drastically. So for all you out there that's wondering what's going on with the car industry, when people out there turning their cars and they're underwater, it's a bad time. It is a real bad time in the car industry to play that game. Yes, for the people that know, my family, we are invested in Ford. We invested in things like that. But playing the dealerships and stuff like that, people are having a hard time place right now, especially with the interest rates where they at. Even though the Fed cut the interest rates on the short end of the curve, and like we talked about many a times, this was another one of those things that I disagree with Donald Trump and his administration on cutting interest rates. They thought that it was going to lower mortgage rates and things like that. That is not the truth. The mortgage rates are not controlled by the Fed. So the Fed did lower the interest rates, and then the mortgage rates, the car rates, and everything else has went higher since the rates has been cut. Like we talked about on the channel, I don't have to be smart. I just have to understand history and see what happened the previous times, like we talked about on this channel. FAFSA. This is one I want to share out with people, especially people that's still pushing their kids to go to college. FAFSA is open right now for the 2026-2027 school year. You need to, if you want your kids to go to college, you need to be applying right now. Usually FAFSA is not open to November, December timeframe to start applying for the next school year. FAFSA is open today. I believe it opened on Wednesday. If you want, the grants, all the money from the government to make it less cost on your student or less cost on you to put your kid to school, today, you need to be applying today to get get that money from FAFSA because it's open now. Trust me, the people in the know gonna know you have to get in early. The earlier you get in, the more money you're gonna get. If you wait until January, February, and March, you ain't gonna get no money. Now is the time to start applying for the FAFSA grants and getting the money for FAFSA. And this is the earliest that FAFSA has ever been open to families to start getting money for the next school year. So that just came out last Wednesday. So people, go ahead and tackle that out. Get the money. If you got money to be got, this is the time to get. If you wait, it ain't gonna be more money there, and then they're gonna say, "Oh, nobody helped me." But for all the people that watched on this channel, watched this video, now you know right now is the time, and this has been the earliest that has ever came out and available to start applying for FAFSA. Now, if you don't do it, shame on you. I lost the company. And I had a conversation about it. But anyway, I'm not going to sit there and talk about it. Let me look at a couple questions on the comment section, then I'll get to the stock market. Hello. 6-7. Marcus, I seen you with hit 6-7. Andrea, hey, what's up? All right, what was some of the investments and assets you invested in when you first got started? The first thing I did, I was just investing in mutual funds. Invest in mutual funds. And then I still think that's the best way for people that really don't understand the market is to invest in mutual funds. I would say invest in mutual funds is tied to index. Which I mean tied to index is tied to the S&P 500 or tied to the NASDAQ. That's what I did starting out. And I was religious on making sure I kept putting money in there. Every paycheck came, I would take the money out of there and then I would just put it into the mutual funds, every time. That was my first bill that I ever paid. And then I kept doing that for a while. And then from there, I elevated some into stocks, individual stocks. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my first couple stocks that I invested in, my first stock I ever invested in was Merck. But besides that, I thought the penny stock game was the way that I was going to hit the lottery. Blew up an account. But then I start doing the same things that I'm telling everybody today is you need to study. You need to understand what's really going on in the market and reading financial reports. Those are facts, not how I feel. I don't invest on how I feel. I invest on 100% facts. Oh yeah, like Tarandis said, I invest on Sponge Tech. Yeah, Tarandis, he was one of the people that was in my Discord when I was telling people about that. I was all in the penny stock game. I was doing all that kind of crazy madness. And I was losing money hand over fist. But then I got to reading, I got to studying, I got to keep looking at the facts, not how I feel. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I thought SpongeBob was the biggest thing out there, but me using my emotions was making me lose a lot of money. And then so that's why I only talk about the facts that are the facts. I don't care what side of the aisle, I don't care what religious preference you are, I don't care what's going on. That is the only thing that I invest on. I mean, I can sit here and say, oh yeah, because I lean more to the right, that they shouldn't be giving out, Section 8 and all that other stuff the far right talks about. But I'll be sitting here lying to you saying that I don't have properties with Section 8 tenants in there. That's the thing. It's not an all or nothing game for me. I'm not going to sit here and believe that, oh, well, just because they say that, then I can't make no money because that's not how life is. I mean, I've literally seen people only invest on how they feel and then they lost every dime that they made. I don't invest on how I feel. I invest on the knowledge that I've learned through facts. Everybody has their right to their own opinion, but there is only one truth or one fact out there. And that's what I invest on. And I don't care what side of the aisle that it benefits or not. If I can make money, because the end of the day, Donald Trump Nancy Pelosi, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, they not coming to my house to make sure my family's taken care of. They gonna play the game, they gonna make the money, and then me and the people that was friends or probably ain't friends of mine because I believe in one policy or another, we still gonna be sitting here arguing amongst each other and then mad at each other or whatever, and they still gonna walk off with the money. No, I'm leaving with the money with them. So you can sit here and be all in your feelings all you want about what political side you on. But I'm gonna be here making the money. And that's why I say I'm going to win anyway. I'm going to win anyway. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters to me, I don't give a damn if Trump cares. I mean, I don't give a damn if Trump knows that I'm a Republican. I give less than a damn about that. What I do give a damn about that is my family's taken care of. My family can be able to do what they want. But so y'all can sit there and hang on to y'all battle scars, hang on to y'all political party and take all the battle scars to go with it and say, oh, I'm not doing that because I don't believe in that. Go ahead. I'm not that guy. I'm going wherever the money's at, and I don't give a damn where the money's at. I'm going for it. Like we talked about, and y'all seen it on a couple of my YouTube videos when y'all, oh, those people are over there racist. You can sit over there and complain about them. I just say, hey, why don't I just go buy where the hell they live and I can just dictate whatever the hell I want to. I don't give a care if they're white, black, LGBT, whatever. They pay rent. I care about the color green. So you can call me a sellout, coon, whatever you want to call me, but you ain't gonna call me broke. I guarantee you that. So y'all can hold on to the pride all y'all want to. I'm just gonna hold on to the money. But yeah, so let's get to I can't think of the company, but I was talking to somebody about it. I'm trying to find it right here. Assure Act. I can't think of the name. But I can't think of the name. But this company said that they, and I wrote it down, and my scribble scrabble, I couldn't see what it is. But the company itself is a big company. It's a big company. They work in a lot of PR firms and things like that. And if somebody see it, if somebody know what I'm talking about, please hit me up in the comment section. I think it's Actura. I could be wrong, but my chicken scratch is killing me here. But what they said is they about to lay off employees because and they're going to lay off the employees that cannot adapt to the AI system. That's what they said. They're going to lay off employees that cannot adapt to the AI system. And then what that is they know is a lot of employees there that's been there 10, 15 years, 5, 10, 15 years has been set in their ways. So now with a big new development, a big new change that's coming on, they know a lot of people won't be able to adapt to learning AI, learning how to use AI and things like that. And it's funny, we just talked about AI last week and how to use ChatGPT, so all the gatekeepers won't go away. But that company said they're going to start laying off people that can't learn the AI system and learn how to use AI whatsoever. So I always tell people, get your skills up. You don't need to go to school to learn AI. You can use the same phone that you're probably watching this on and start looking up how to use AI. What is the best functionalities of AI? How to use AI. AI did not become the new Google. Learn AI for what it is. Google is Google. You can search, hey, what happened in 1936? But you can actually put complex questions to Google into AI and get it. You can say, hey, I want to create a video game that has XYZ. Can you write me a program for it? And it produces the program. You can get complex. It's not like Google. You have to understand what is the nuance and how it will benefit you. Let's say you have this advertisement that you want to put up. You can go into an AI bot or whatever and say, hey, you can say what kind of neighborhood you're in. You can say you're in a middle class, lower class neighborhood. I'm trying to promote this event to do X, Y, and Z. Give me the best paragraph, no emojis, whatever, to resonate with these type of people. And it will print you out an advertisement that will do it. And then you can, of course, read it over, look it over, and see if it hits the key points that you want. And you can tell it the key points that you want. And then you can put it out there and enhance your visibility. That's what AI is. It's way more complex than just a Google search. But people want to use it like Google, and people missing the whole mind frame and point of it. You can literally AI and say, hey, what are the ways that I can make money starting from zero right now? And you can put in all your parameters, your age, your demographic, where you at in the United States, yada, yada, yada. And it will spit off information. And then when it spit off information, you can ask more complex questions about different things that work in your favor or don't work in your favor. That's how you use AI. It's not just a willy-nilly, hey, who won the Piston game last week? That's Google stuff. So just understand the different nuance. All right, back to the questions. What does that mean? 25K to be a day trader. All right, so it's a rule. It's called a day trader rule. If you don't have more than $25,000 in your account, you only allowed to go round trip 2 times a week, I believe. 2 times a week, round trip meaning you buy and sell the same stock or instrument during that week. You only can do that twice before you become a pattern day trader if you have less than $25,000 in your account. So it limits on your ability on what to do. But if you have more than $25,000 in your account, you can day trade in and out of stocks all you want to. And it's called the pattern day trader rule. So I am all for people being limited to the risky side of things just to lose money to the people that's more smarter. And again, 95% of day traders blow up their accounts and lose all their money. And I am a product of being one of those people who blew up their account many a time trying to be a day trader. So I want it to be harder for them, and I'd rather people learn the game through the long run, invest in mutual funds, then understand how stocks work, then understand how technical analysis work. Then by that time, you're way over 25,000 because you actually put money into these instruments. You're way over 25,000. And if you want to take 5 or 10% of your portfolio and then you want to day trade with it, God bless you. But you know the information, not just coming out of the woodworks. Oh, I got $1,000. I'm about to go in here and get into GameStop and hope I can day trade in and out of that. No, I don't want that, because only thing that do is it takes more people to be turned off by the stock market than people that's turned on by the way to create wealth. T Horsey just said, the YouTube guys only show wins. That's 100% true. They only show wins. Hell, we win and lose. We win and lose. But that's the only thing they show wins to make it seem like it's easier. All right, is unemployment high because there is no jobs or people don't want to work? Unemployment, so that's a good question. Unemployment is actually, according to national terms, sorry, I didn't drop my pencil. According to national terms, for people to understand, a 6% unemployment rate means the United States is still fully employed. We're at 4.3 or 4.6 or something like that on unemployment. But historically, we're still fully employed. But the thing is understand that it's 10,000 boomers that's retiring every day. And it'll be that way from now to like 2035 or longer, that 10,000 boomers are retiring every day. So we need a lower interest rate. Not a lower interest rate, a lower unemployment rate, because of course the boomer society was the biggest mass of people that we had population-wise in the United States, but also the biggest working class that we had in the United States also. So to your question, unemployment is high compared to where it's been at in the short-term historical realm, like in the last, 8 years is high. But on a United States global realm, no, we're still considered fully employed. So that was a good question. Sponges, yeah, T, that was sponges. Do you know anything about the government programs that you rent rooms for people that just out of prison? I heard it pays well. No, I'm being honest with you. I know it's programs out there. Where the government pays, people out of prisons, halfway houses and things like that. If that's your cup of tea, go for it. I haven't really looked into the nuance of that and looked into how that program works. I do Section 8 program. All my properties are available to Section 8 people. I'm not saying they all fill with Section 8 people because that's not true, but I always make sure they compliant that if somebody with Section 8 voucher wanted to rent there, it meets all the matrix for that. But I don't know about the prison program, but I believe that there is programs out there for people that's just getting out of prison, and then the government will pay. And it's a play if it's in an area where a lot of prisoners leave to go to, and then you provide housing and subsidies for them, or provide housing for them, and then the government subsidizing for them. That is a play, but I just don't know where those places are at. But I believe there are programs out there. The day trader thing. Does that affect me and what I do in Robinhood? No, it don't. It don't affect anybody. It don't affect anybody. The day trader rule doesn't affect anybody. The only thing it is lowering the amount that it takes for you to be called quote unquote a day trader. I mean, 25K is the number that you needed so you can move in and out of stocks on every day without being restricted. But if you don't go in and out of stocks, it don't matter. A day trader is somebody that's in a stock and out of the stock the same day or within a short time frame. But if you're not doing that, then it don't affect you at all. But if you wanted to get into that, you can still day trade, but you're limited to like 2 or 3 times a week. I think it's 2 times a week. Anything over 2 times a week, you're considered a pattern day trader, and now you're breaking the rules of the platform or of the SEC and things like that. But that's what it is. But do I recommend people day trading? No. I think you need to learn all the other avenues just based off the scale of risk. I mean, saving, high yield savings, investing in the S&P 500, CDs. You need to learn all that other stuff, mutual funds, individual stocks holding for a long time, dividend stock, dividend kings, dividend aristocrats. And then moving on the scale till you get more risky, then you're talking about selling options, then you talking about buying options, which is on the riskier scale. Then you start talking about penny stocks, then you talking about day trading. Because the thing is, if you day trading and not using options of bigger companies, you need a lot of money to do it. Unless you're pulling in margin, and then that's another risk on top of that. So it's levels and scales to the risk platform before I believe anybody should even get to day trading. And like I said, for the 3rd time on the channel, I was crazy enough to go out there and try to jump into deep water and day trading when I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I still want my money back. I ain't gonna lie. It hurt every time. So just pay attention to that. But the key of it all is you gotta have skin in the game, people. You can't play this game like it's a lottery. You can't play this game like, oh, I'm gonna put $1 here and then I'm not focused on it. You can't sit here and say, hey, I'm going to invest in this company because somebody told me I need to invest in this company. You got to know for yourself. If you're investing, you got to do the research. You got to read. You got to take your emotions out of the game. Because that's all money is emotion. People get money and they be like, oh, I want to take care of mama, cousin. I mean, look at all these athletes. They want to take care of everybody else. And then next thing you know, you sitting there like Delonte West over there in Dallas, sitting there on the corner asking for money, begging on drugs. Because you want to take care of everybody else because you were so emotional. Didn't think the money was going to run out. You got to separate yourself from it. People call all the time and they tell me about, everybody else's situations and things like that. And I always say, well, okay. I don't look at it how much money I have that I'm about to go cure the world. I don't. I look at taking care of what's important. And what's important is these 4 walls. If you sit there and you've known me for more than a day, I've said the same thing that I'm saying on this channel, I've said to everybody that knows me. Now, if you chose to keep going and living your life doing what you want to and think that you can come back and call me and bail you out, you're sadly mistaken. I already know how the story gonna end. The answer gonna be no, and then you ain't gonna call me again. I gave you all the information you needed, but you chose to keep doing the foolery in your life, but you thought, oh, well, hey, Kirby's doing it, so, well, yeah, he just got money, and he got a heart that he's gonna give it to me. No, not ever. It ain't gonna happen. I'm only willing to help the people that can't help themselves. And it's very few people that can't help themselves. So y'all know where my money's at. My son taking it. My wife hiding it somewhere because she ain't trying to spend a dime either. But that's really the true matter of what's going on. People, we have to be accountable for ourselves. We have the ability to do whatever the hell we want. Now, I don't care if you're black, white, male, female, what sexual orientation. You can do it yourself. But what you got to do is stop doing all the things that you do to lose money and then start focusing on the things that it is to make money. Based off facts. Not how you feel, based off facts. There's no more comments in the comment section. I'm sorry, my eye has been acting up all damn day. Of course, I got more stuff that I have on here, but every week we drop a video on Wednesday at noon Eastern. Please like, subscribe, hit the comment section in those videos. I love to have a conversation with y'all, but we drop one every Wednesday, and we'll keep dropping it until y'all get tired of me, and then I'll go on and do something else better. But with all that said, thank y'all for tuning in. We do this live every Saturday, so I'll see y'all next Saturday, and hopefully y'all check out the videos on Wednesday. With that, thanks for the support. I'll see you next week.